All right. Hello and welcome. This is a preview, one of my preview webinars, rather, of my large webinar that's coming tomorrow, talking about digital trends and everything else that's going on in the world and that sort of thing. So, really looking forward to getting started here. My name is Doyle Bueller, and quickly we'll get into this. Just a quick preview of what my webinar is going to be about tomorrow as well. I'm going to be talking about 2021 digital trends. We've obviously gone through a lot in the last little while, and it's really just a matter of how do we actually take these pieces and some of the learnings and move forward as well, which is super, super important here. And it's sort of a reflection on what we've seen, but also what we can see and what we want to be able to see and how we want to be able to move things forward as well. So um, it's really important that we kind of understand where we are, and then that's something that we can really move forward to as well. So again, just a quick little preview of my webinar coming up tomorrow. For those who don't want to watch for the next 5 minutes, simply go sign up here and I'll give you the link, and you can join in on that conversation tomorrow. bit.ly/digital lens 2021. There's a little bit of a delay here in the iPad, so we'll wait till it gets there. But anyway, that's where we're at. So would love to see you there tomorrow. It starts at 9 a.m. Perth time, 12 p.m. on in Sydney and Melbourne as well. So bit.ly/digital lens 2021. And if you do register and show up, I've actually got a few bonuses as well. So let's get started again. Quick little preview of what's going on. What are we going to be talking about? What's important? What's not important? That sort of thing. So take a look at how we can put this together. I want to start off with, we are the digital challengers. We're in an amazing age in terms of what we can do and how we can do it, but we have to make sure that we engage this properly. We have to make sure that we're actually utilizing what the tools that we have, right? We don't need to invent any new technology. We don't need to be able to understand, we do need to be able to understand how to actually use these tools and these tactics and apply them in terms of an overriding digital strategy. So that's really important. So change your attitude, unbuck your head, make an honest, unsentimental accounting of your present condition, prepare to be disappointed, define what you want instead clearly. By clear, I mean precise and feasible. An unrealistic objective is sure to sabotage this process. Hit the books, try and error, inquire, risk, mimic, insist, resist, right? We need to experiment more with digital in terms of how it's working and how it can work for you as well. So it's really important that you take a look at this. So the digital lens, looking forward, your top digital business and marketing trends affecting your business in 2021. So it is, I don't need to really remind anybody, but it's November 2020, right? Where to from here? Where are you going? What are you doing now to be able to move forward into 2021 as well? My name is Doyle Bueller. I guide digital challenger businesses in navigating the daunting digital economy and overcoming the fear, anxiety, and resistance of operating a true digital company in the 2020s. I help them to discover, align, and skyrocket their online business and visibility so the world knows who they are and how they do business. All right, so the big question is why, right? Why are trends important? Why is digital business important? I'm going to be showing you some very specific examples in terms of the opportunity there as well. But just quickly, we really create this as a journey of discovery. It's an immense opportunity that I'm going to show you as well. And most of us already know this, right? It's no secret, but it's how do we actually leverage these pieces together to be able to actually do that? And that's the important part. You're already sitting on a mountain of your value. It's just how do we leverage it rather in the digital space as well. And what I've created recently is what I call the 10 base camps to get you there. And it's a whole different subject, but it kind of allows you to create these specific steps moving you forward and up to the summit and then back again, right? It's not just getting to the summit, to the highest peak and staying there. You have to realize that there are steps after that as well. And ultimately what we want to do, right? Sales and digital growth through your online presence by defining, developing, and delineating your digital assets and ecosystem. And that's key here, as most businesses have these little parts here and there, but they haven't been able to put them together. What do we want to do? We want to get you to that digital promised land, right? Where you can actually utilize and leverage it and that sort of thing. So these are some of the base camps, and I'm obviously not going to go into this because this is more about the trends, but we're looking at this area here, signals and data. Okay, what is your audience saying? What is your environment saying? What is it telling you? What signals is it giving you? You know, how do you actually define that? And that's where we'll actually find the trends that we want to be able to look at in this. And these are the ones that I'm going to show you coming out very, very quickly. Now, just a little bit of background in terms of why is this important, right? Well, if you take a look, this is sort of the pre-COVID days. This was in, 2019, rather moving into 2020. So suddenly we have this spike, right? And what's that spike? That's the businesses that have been enabled, that have looked at digital adoption towards the 25 to 35% mark as well, if we look across here. So if you take a look at it from that perspective, within the last 6 months, the spike in digital adoption and penetration has been significant, right? Very, very significant. If you compare the two, right, from here to here, what would that be? Similar to there, which would be about 2010 rather. So if you look at that, what it means is that the businesses that are digitally adopted and have some good penetration with their audience, with their customers, with their ecosystems and their assets, those are the ones that have been able to make some really significant gains over the last 6 to 9 months as well. Digital activity, and actually I should just clarify, this is for the UK and US, these stats here. So it is really applicable around the world as well. Maybe not as specific, but I am trying to locate additional stats that show that shift over the last 9 months as well. But if we look at the digital activity in Australia, it's very, very similar, right? We see a very big rise moving forward as well. So it's not just flatlining. When we had COVID, it didn't just flatline, it didn't just continue as business as usual, right? Businesses that were prepared, that had a good understanding of the assets and the ecosystems that they needed, those are the ones that were able to continue forward and actually raise the bar in terms of their business. They don't have to close. They didn't have to close, rather. So you look at that, like 20 to 30% digital adoption penetration. That's it. Like the internet was invented, what, in 1995, and we started to have businesses in, in the early 2000s as well. So we need to really think of how do we actually get to this space here. I would suggest that most businesses are kind of down here. We need to be able to allow them that opportunity to be able to work towards that. Again, it's not going to be easy. There's a lot to know, but understanding the trends and understanding what you can do with them is going to be very, very critical as well. So here's the opportunity. And if you take a look at this, again, I kind of quickly talked about it previously, but if you take that little spike there, that actually equates to, just go here, 5 years growth in 3 months, right? Isn't that fantastic? For the businesses that do have those digital assets, for the ones that do have, a digital ecosystem and do have that capability beyond just a website. Let's be serious here. Let's be, very, look at the system as for what it is, right? If you just have a website and you just have a Facebook page, guess what? That's just an entry point. It doesn't give you any advantage whatsoever. So these are the businesses that have been able to leverage that. They have more than a website. They have more than a Facebook page. They have digital assets that are working for them, whether it's helping their audience along their journey, whether it's, producing sales or leads or some platform that allows them to congregate and to have a community and connecting. That's what those businesses are doing. So those businesses here, 5 years growth in 3 months. So it really sort of lays down the foundation to say this is really important. And if you're not leveraging it, what are you doing? How are you doing it? What can you be doing differently as well? So in terms of trends and that sort of thing, I consider them to be like glaciers. They're very slow moving. They're not a fad. They're very, very specific, and it takes into account the more of the cultural and the behaviors and that sort of thing. There are tech trends, right? And you can go find, the top 20 tech trends for 2020, 2021, that sort of thing, right? To me, those are they're always changing, and you can never necessarily keep up with tech. So what you have to do is you have to use those as tools. What I'm talking about is more specific to the behaviors, the understandings, what your customer and your audience is thinking and what they're doing and how they're doing it and how they're changing their thinking as well. So that's why there is a huge difference between these digital business trends and tech trends, right? We will see more AI and we will see, more automations and that sort of thing. But we need to take a look at how does a trend actually apply to my business? And that's what's ultimately the most important piece going forward as well. So 2021 trend categories, a little bit of a tongue twister that I'm going to be going over tomorrow during the webinar. Number one, the digital experience, and these are groupings. There's a number of breakdowns as well. How do we create remarkable digital experiences worth remembering? There's some brilliant companies that have really fully engaged that digital experience, and there are some that have failed miserably because they didn't engage that digital experience. And I'm going to be talking about those case studies as well. And it's quite fascinating. A company that has, decades of content and decades of producing stuff, and they could not actually leverage that into the digital space, which is actually quite surprising. And a whole industry as well around the world that some are getting it and some aren't, right? And it really makes you wonder. It's like you've got a tremendous opportunity here to be able to do that, but you have to create that digital experience as well. Number two is signals and data, right? What is your audience telling you? And even more importantly, what are they not telling you? Because there are some ways of identifying those gaps. Are people wearing noise cancellation headphones when you're talking to them? Those kinds of things that you have to take into consideration as well. So we need some signals. We need to understand what they're saying and what they're not saying. We need to understand how do we actually create that digital experience that's worth remembering and that you can actually deliver it as well. Number three, we need to be able to deliver trust or create trust online. And as I'm going to go into, it's more than just getting, securing your customer's credit card details. That's a technicality, right? That's expected. But how do you actually build trust between you and your audience, between you and your customers? That's what's really critical. And I'm going to go into how you can actually do that and what's saying that we need to do this now, right? There's no time to wait and that sort of thing. And the last sort of category is what I call pathways, but what's opening up to allow you to connect and engage further to create a lasting journey. And that's what really the experience and pathways are somewhat a little bit similar. But what we want to be able to do is to generate that journey for our audience. And we have to have these specific digital pieces in place. Otherwise, it looks random, it looks inconsistent. It's not going to move that customer forward as well. We want to be able to create a lasting journey as well. So those are the four trend categories. I'm going to be going into a lot more depth of these in terms of how you can actually use them, what they actually mean, and how you can put them together as well. So that's going to be the crux of that. So the world is shifting, right? We've previously been focusing on how many clicks we get, but we really need to change our thinking rather to making all of these clicks count as well. So I'd love to see you there tomorrow. You can go to bit.ly/digitallens 2021 or digitallens 2021. I thought that was a little bit funny how that turned out. But anyway, bit.ly/digitallens 2021. And attendees will get a 2021 bonus report as well. So Tuesday, 10th of November, US and Canada, it's 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, which is also then, Wednesday. Let me correct this. This is Wednesday. Wednesday over in this part of the world. Australia, Asia, 9 a.m. Perth, Singapore, 12 p.m. Sydney and Melbourne as well. So that's the registration link. Again, would love to see you there. Check it out. See if there's some information that might help you going forward. And I'll be sending you a 2021 business report as well. So that's all I have. Hopefully this has been helpful. If it has been helpful, love it if you could share, write me a comment or a question or whatever the case may be, and I'll attend to that right away. So thank you so much. And we will see you online.